All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Delphi case. Boy, a lot is coming out. We're starting to hear some of these YouTubers now make videos saying that it didn't go down the way that we all were led to believe. We got serious problems in Indiana, in Delphi murder community, right? Here's my thing. Now, there's been reports that the whole thing, which it made sense. Why, if it was just one person and the girls, why would he say guy, right? Why would he say that? But now they're saying that that was a bunch of bullcrap. That it was actually girls down the hill or whatever it was. So very interesting how these people are spinning the case, uh, almost hypnotizing folks. Power of suggestion, witches, whatever you want to call it. But folks, we are actually seeing this in the Delphi case. Uh, yeah. Now let's listen to some of these people that I do believe these people might be the people that are doing it, or part of this cult here in Indiana that practice witchery, sorcery, whatever. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this.
According to Nick McClellan, they're going to tell us why and how he did this. Yep, I got Brandon, don't worry.
I mean, this is very interesting.
Let's see. See through. Reasonable doubt. The investigation was messed up throughout. Beginning evidence was lost. Steve Mullen is responsible, and the interviews are gone forever. They don't even know who they interviewed. Months later, they lost more interviews. In the middle of the case, Delphi law enforcement kicked out the FBI. By kicking them out, digital forensic people.
Okay, now this person, this lady, Marv, beyond the evidence, is saying that the Delphi Police Department kicked out the FBI off of the case. This is very interesting. I'm shocked. You don't kick the FBI off of a case, they'll continue to investigate it if they think something's wrong. I mean, that's federal government. They're more powerful than the state. So that ain't adding up. But what this lady is saying is that Delphi Police Department kicked the FBI off of the case, which therefore, once it came to investigating the evidence, these idiots didn't know how to do it because they kicked the professionals off of the case. Very interesting. This just get crazier. Let's listen to some more.
Were kicked off the case. And any work that the FBI did on digital forensics wasn't given to Delphi investigators. Here's the big one. Big one. 2 days ago, law enforcement and the prosecutor were scrambling because the hair in Anne's hand had a root on it and DNA.
All right, so they found a hair. They're scrambling now to test the
It is
hair.
a female's hair. They know that. Says it could be from family member, of Libby's or Abby's.
Family member
but
of the
big
family.
kicker is they never tested it to see whose hair it was. In 7 years, they never found out whose hair it was. They never did DNA testing on that hair. The phone. He says the data doesn't lie. It doesn't cheat. Per Libby's phone, the prosecution's case will fall apart. The state police in charge of the phone extraction is hard data. They didn't, and then they said because they got rid of the FBI, the local Delphi law enforcement officers didn't understand the data.
And that's, folks, is why it took so long to get the data read. And there's still data out there that has not been read because they didn't understand how to read it. So there you go with that, right? They kicked off the FBI, which I think that's a bunch of bull crap. But then when it came down to bare knuckles, the investigators, the police in Delphi, could not read the data or the evidence. And that explains why it's been 7 years. I mean, that explains it. Now, I want to get back to this one thing because this lady, let's rewind this, because this lady is saying that the recording that was put out, folks, the recording that we've been hearing must have been edited and is not the real recording, because this lady is saying that it was girls down the hill. So if someone mentioned guys in that video, in that recording, then they were talking to other men. And that would explain why the police said there was numerous voices on the recording. This just keeps getting better. This just keeps getting better. And another thing, when you look at the footage of Bridge Guy, the sun is in his face. That means it had to be right before noon or just after 12 o'clock because the sun was still in his face when he was walking on the bridge. Anywhere between 12:30, 1 o'clock, because the sun was casting down upon his face, the side of his face. It wasn't fully over the top of him. It was just about, because the shadow was starting to appear on his legs, casting down onto the railroad tracks. So either they had their time completely mixed up, or the girls were dropped off at a different time and somebody's lying. All right, let's continue here, because this lady here is claiming that defense opened up with saying that it's girls down the hill, not guys. Shocking, right? That means the recordings we heard were manipulated. They were cut and pieced in somewhere. We're not hearing the whole sequence. We're not hearing it as it occurred. We're getting edited stuff that ain't in line. That's the stuff they do when they're trying to catch a mobster. they'll use tape, but they'll edit it and make it sound like they're talking about something that they're not talking about. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Hello, Miss Debbie. Hello, Mr. Kelt and Brandon Rhodes. All right, let's continue to listen to a little bit of this because just wait 15 minutes. This case will change. It's like the Indiana weather. It's like the Florida weather.
There's a Winchester 40 caliber found between the two girls.
We know about the bullet. Very common bullet. Also can be shot from a 38. A 40 caliber round is used in other caliber weapons. That's no biggie. But let's get to some of this other stuff that they're talking about in here.
And found in between the bodies. Took DNA from the girls that never took DNA from the handprint on the tree. That's coming up. RA arrived and parked at the CPS lot, 300 North, or 300 North CSP. I think it's supposed to be CPS. I was writing fast. Lot or Mears lot. RA did not take his normal way to
Debbie,
drive
can
there.
you hear
He parked at the CPS entrance at
the
1:30.
video?
4 o'clock or after, RA leaves. Once he left, he didn't take the phone and never came back to the crime scene. Now, this is all the prosecution's theory. Okay? According to Baldwin, the defense's theory, RA was never on the trail at the same time as Abby and Libby. He was gone by 1:30. So he got there by 12:30 on trail. The car was gone by 2:15 p.m. Betsy Blair.
Okay, this Marv lady is saying that the defense or whatever. Now, none of this stuff can be true. What defense is saying that the car was gone by 2:15. They got to prove that. That does not mean that's what actually happened. If it did, fine. If they have proof of that, if they have footage where Richard Allen was already gone, where he might be, because the bridge photo looks like it's a different time than what they're saying. They said that the girls were killed anywhere between 2 o'clock and 3:30, 4 o'clock. So it's not adding up. Someone's story, which this is hello, Miss ATS News. This is common in cases because everybody don't see things the same. Everybody don't remember stuff the same, the time and all that, So that makes sense, right? Let's listen a little bit more.
Is going to talk about when she drove by CPS, and the camera shows her driving by the Hoosier Harvest store. She will tell you that the vehicle she saw was an old Comet, and she knows this because of her dad and having a similar car.
All right, this lady Marv is saying that the defense is talking about that this lady is going to testify that it was an old Comet. Okay, not a Fusion or whatever. And I can remember in the beginning of this case, they were looking for a purple PT Cruiser that was parked by that building. They were looking for a purple or dark colored PT Cruiser. Okay, that's what they were looking for in the beginning of this case. They were looking for a truck. Someone said somebody put a report out that there was some kind of a camping truck or a box van or something parked out there as this was all going on. Now, I do remember getting satellite photos of that day. And there was a utility truck, or what looked to be a utility truck out there working on the lines. Down the road, down further, maybe somebody mistaken the utility truck. There was a box truck, a white big box truck that could have been converted into some kind of a sex machine or something. Now, they're saying, the defense is saying that the girls went there, left, was killed, and brought back and planted. I don't know. Some people are saying the girls were killed there and they were never taken anywhere. Some people are saying the girls were killed, not there, but dumped there. Very interesting. And there are people out there that have theories that the girls were killed at the bridge, but were hidden in one of these shacks. Numerous shacks that were off the beaten trail of Delphi, which we've seen them in other videos. And that's why possibly Doug Carter mentioned the shack, because it's possible the girls were killed, hidden. When everybody went ahead and cleared out of there, they went back and staged the bodies. That's possible. Anything is possible in a double murder. All right, let me check with my chat. Yeah, they were looking for a PT Cruiser. They were looking for a pickup truck. They were looking for a black truck or something. They were looking for another truck. They were looking for another car, but eventually Garino said he was there. I drove past the bridge at the exact times as the murder was occurring. Well, the cameras probably would have picked that up. You had the reports. You got 3 witnesses, 3 girls. Out of them 3 girls, they described different people. One says somebody was walking normal. She didn't notice any blood or anything on them. They were walking with a purpose. The other one said that she seen somebody that was walking, but they were covered in mud and blood. You have another person that said they seen somebody walking on the highway right next to that highway there, that road right there. You had another report of somebody somebody was hitchhiking down the highway with a backpack and muddy clothes. You had numerous call-ins and tip-ins about that. You got sketches that don't look alike. You got 4 sketches different, 4 or 5 sketches. They all look different. These are the sketches that these witnesses gave to the police, and none of them look like Richard Allen. Maybe one of the sketches looked like Richard Allen. The rest of them look like YouTubers. I mean, if you want the truth, how crazy does this case get? I don't know. Let's listen to a little more of this.
He said that this car didn't have crisp lines. It was older, and the lines were different. It wasn't crisp. Ari had a 2014 Ford Focus, nothing like a Comet. And he was gone by 2:15.
Now, they got a problem if Richard Allen's phone pinged at the bridge, but by the time the girls got there, supposedly, or the murders occurred, the phone pinged again, but it was at his home. Well, now they got a problem. He ain't there. The murders haven't occurred yet. The phone did ping there, but 20 minutes later, a half hour later, it's pinging at his house. Right? Now they got a problem because either he wasn't there or we know exactly what happened. His wife was at work. Who knows what happened? He was on a joyride or whatever. If his phone's pinging there, they got him there at the bridge. And then a half an hour later, his phone's pinging somewhere else. It is possible the girls were taken. I'm not gonna. You gotta explain to me how the family was out there that night. The fathers were out there. Cody was out there. Derek was out there. Derek, or whatever. They were all out there and said they searched the property of where the murders occurred. They were out there. They never went down the ravine. Why not? Why did they check that whole area, but they didn't go down that small ravine behind the... Very interesting. Now we got reports that the family said they were out there until 2 o'clock in the morning searching. When on the news, the police called off the search at 11, 12 o'clock and left. But the family remained out there with these people. Ain't it funny that the phone pinged at 2 o'clock in the morning or late or early in the morning? They said they don't know if it was powering up or someone was shutting it off or whatever. Very interesting. Very interesting. And here, even so many of us got attacked by these bullies, these tyrants and terrorists, or whatever you want to call them. Because as soon as you mentioned anything about investigating anything around the family that they were involved in before even the Delphi murders occurred, people were getting sued, attacked, channels getting struck, people going crazy, getting death phone calls, people making videos and everything, So it's very interesting that this is happening. This far along, they had 7 years. 7 years to investigate all this stuff. It probably took them 5 years to figure out how to read the data. And then once they figured out how to read the data, excuse me, something's attacking me. Once they figure out how to read the data, that's when they started making the arrest. I imagine it took them 3-4 years to figure out how to read the data because they fired the FBI, supposedly. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But yes, we are under attack by this thing. I don't think the government is going to be able to save these people. Pretty much, I think we know for a fact that the government has already came out and said they are not going to protect these people. They were asking if the Aryan Brotherhood is after these people. are the police going to protect them? And they came out and said no. These people created their own shit with this, attacking us with this witchery, sorcery stuff. That's why all these YouTubers are flipping out. All these people are running to the police because the police are pretty much letting the vigilantes in this state know they are not going to protect these people. These people are very bad people. They are not going to protect them from the Aryans. They're not going to protect them from the gangs that want these people gone for what they did. And that's just the police came out and said that. No, they're not going to protect them. That's their problem. Now, I don't know what these people did in this Delphi case. Some of these YouTubers must have done some very bad stuff for the Aryan Brotherhood and the police to say they will not protect these people. It's not good. It ain't good. Now, I can pretty much tell you that this has been going on for 7 years. There's wars in the street over this, people dying. There's lawsuits hitting the state. Their heads are spinning. You got big dogs coming in. They were being watched, not only by the killers and these pedos, YouTubers and gangs or clubs, whatever these people belong to. They were being watched by the real big dog government. And it looks like they made a mistake by trying to say that they fired the FBI, and then they figured out they didn't know how to read the evidence in the phone data and the cryptic stuff and all that to undo all this so they can figure out whose photos they were in Keegan Klein's phone, in all these other people's phones. So it makes sense. They're getting to it. I think the police are doing pretty good. It probably took them a long time to figure out how to read the data. But I do agree with other people. They had 7 years to test all this. If you find a hair at the murder scene in one of the girl's hands and you don't test it, very interesting, right? You have the whole correct. It's just this case is demonic. That is the last we're going to say to Indiana State. The people that are involved in this murders and many more have sacrificed these people. Now, whether you want to call them Odins, whatever they are, whatever you folks call them, I have no idea what they are. They are real. And they've done it to many kids down there in Delphi. And they might belong to a pedo ring where they are actually making money off of it. And on the side, they're crime fighters. They're so-called proclaimed bounty hunters. They're so-called proclaimed investigators for the police and everything else. No shit, folks. No shit. And people laugh about it. I'm like, no, these YouTubers are actually trying to blackmail people. They're actually trying to get evidence that they can use and give to Delphi police to try and manipulate them. And it's just horrible. Horrible. You got people that are proclaiming to be investigators, police with records of rape, SA, stealing from the government, the American citizens, banks, and everything else in charge of crime in the YouTube crime community. Are you nuts? How can you take anything these people say in the court of law or anything serious when there's these YouTuber people, men and women, that have records of SA, and you're letting them report on this children's stuff? It's almost like you are putting the SA people in. They're like, is it sick? Is it? Here's another thing. We were listening earlier today, and I could have swore I heard a woman said Greeno was at the courthouse, and some other people, and Michael Catt was at the courthouse. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Michael Catt is supposedly dead. How can Michael Catt be there? Now, maybe I heard her wrong, but I thought that's what she said. And we have seen these YouTubers fake their deaths before, and they've opened a new channel, or they've gone incognito, and they break away from YouTube. I mean, this is getting interesting. Interesting. I am going to give you my honest opinion. I do believe that this is demonic. I do believe we are being attacked, used. I don't know if the government is letting these people practice their witchery and sorcery on the civilians or whatever it may be, or sacrificing these people and blaming some 2,000, 3,000-year-old child fable of Vikings and Odins or whatever. And I think that's what it is. It's their escape route, right? It's their escape route. We could blame the Odins and witches and goblins and everything. That's the problem in this country. Let me see what Miss ATS News says. They tested hair and it came from female, just don't know who. Yeah. So I've heard reports that they said it was a reddish color long hair that did not belong to either one of the girls, which makes sense because in the beginning of this case, there was reports and leaks that there was also a woman's voice on the recording, other than Abby and Libby's. Now figure that out. A lot of this stuff has been editing out. We're hearing 39 seconds of a recording of two voices or possibly one. I'm thinking it's two. I'm thinking there's more voices on that recording. I'm thinking it exactly happened what we thought in the first place. There was other people there, maybe one or two other people possibly, and they were doing something and got spooked and either took the bodies or split and came back. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Or these search people walked right over the body. Maybe the bodies were more camouflaged in the beginning, but as the night went on and the storm came in and the cold weather, the cold front came in because it got very cold that night. Maybe it blew the leaves and the rest of the garbage off the bodies, exposing the bodies, and they found the girls the next day. Possible. Anything is possible in a murder case. There's millions of scenarios. Millions of scenarios. One person, two people, five people. It might have been 30, 40 people. They might not have been there when the murders occurred, but they might have knew about it, that somebody was going to sacrifice two young girls to the great Odin gods or whatever. This would have been something 40, 50, however big that organization is, hundreds maybe, would have known that there would have been a great sacrifice coming that day. They might not have been there, but they would have known. They would have been involved. That's conspiracy to cover up a crime. I mean, if you really look at it, we already got enough to bring in RICO charges and take up this whole crew. There was drugs involved in the beginning. There was prostitution. There was pedo photos and drugs with Klein and all that. A crew that they were talking about and everything. That right there was enough to pull a RICO act and bring every single one of these crew, biker, MC, whoever they were claiming they belonged to, in, even if they weren't there when the murders occurred. Why are they not using the laws that they've given them? I don't know. Probably why they don't use the weapons that we supply them. Too deadly or whatever. Who knows? I know this much. Delphi's in a world of crap. And I don't see no way out of it. I don't see no way out of it for any of these people. They can't hide behind the police. The police are coming out saying they're not going to protect the Anthony Greenos. The Aryan Brotherhood's coming out saying they want these dudes. The police have come out and said they're not going to protect these guys. They're on their own. They created this mess. They don't want to protect the Anthony Greenos, the Ernie Shells, the Benny Keys or whatever. They don't want to protect these dudes. They don't want to spend taxpayer money protecting these people because it's just so crazy. Right? It's just so crazy. No, I'm under attack by something. We've noticed this too. It's going around YouTube. Some of these creators that have gotten a little bit too close. What happens? We get attacked. They start coughing. And I've seen some of these women say, stop. Quit attacking us that way. They're using some kind of a demonic thing. I'm telling you, folks, we get the right people in the White House. They're going to clean America. They'll go back to the 1800s. We'll be burning these witches on giant telephone poles, putting stakes in these vampires' hearts, chaining them to the ground so in the next life they can't get out, beheading them and everything, burning them and boiled in giant cauldrons of boil. They're talking about going back to the 1800s. Cleaning America again, getting rid of all these scumbags and evil and everything, cutting the tattoos right off of people's bodies. Yeah, it's no shit. I'm trying to help America. I'm trying to tell you, there's some big dudes, big boys that'll burn this damn place to the ground, and they'd rather, it's costing them more money to have it operate like this. They'd rather burn it to the ground and restart over. I don't blame them. It's too far gone. You listen to Elon and all these big guys, it's gone. We're afraid it's just too far gone. And that's what you got to deal with. People don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear the truth. But I would agree with them. I would agree with them. Debbie, do you need some help? What's going on in chat? I see Brandon Rhodes giving you trouble. What's he doing? What's he doing? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you what, there are some of these YouTube women that are with some of these YouTube dudes, and I can tell you women right now, you best sleep with one eye open, because I don't think you know what you fell in love with. Because there's a couple of these YouTubers that are actually suspects in not Delphi, but a couple other cases. And I know you ladies love the bad boys out there, but you might be sleeping with a stone cold killer, pedo, sicko. And some of these people, they do it just to make money because there's money in it. We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get them all. I think they're going to get every single one of these people. It's just going to take them time. Why, what's he doing, Debbie? Let me read. Is he saying stuff about me? He's a sissy. Let me see what he's saying. I don't know what it is. What's his problem tonight? I don't know. Debbie's doing a great job, though, taking them out. But like I said, I don't think this case will ever end. I think what we are seeing is these YouTubers ran to the police. Yada 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 yada, when then themselves were suspects. And then the police waited for the data. And it took them a while to get the data. And then they finally realized that these YouTubers that were so respectable within the communities, the Rick Snays, the Greenos, the what was the other dude's name? Graz, all these dudes, and the Harms, all these people respectable within the crime community, them themselves were wanted for stuff. And that's when I think the police figured out that these YouTubers were feeding a line of shit. And that's why they won't protect them or anything. They're not reporters. They're trying to hide behind, well, we got protection report. You're not a real reporting agency. You don't have no one to protect you. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. You are not employed by a professional news broadcasting company. You're not CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, whatever you know. You're YouTubers. You're doing bad stuff. You're hacking people's computers. How come we're finding you YouTubers that are involved in these crimes and solving crimes? And we're starting to catch these YouTubers that are so-called crime fighters, but they got 30,000. You know, they caught a woman. They caught a woman in the crime sector that she was involved in the Summer Wells case. I'm not going to mention her names, but she was arrested because she was found with 30,000 photos of SA young kids, but she tried to say she was investigating it. Has anyone got anything to say? Any of this? Now, I can say this much. There's been reports that this hair is from a female with red long hair. Now, I don't know if it's true. It could be a man's hair and be red, be a short red hair, a couple inches of hair or whatever. But I heard it was red. No, I'm not sure. But now we've been through this in the Delphi so much. Now every woman that has red hair is a suspect in the Delphi case until they get the test back and can say it don't belong to the family or it don't belong to one of the girls. Everyone's a suspect. I know it's crazy, but that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Now everyone's a suspect. Now, like I said, I do believe these people, some of them may be in my YouTube right now, in my channel right now, using witchery, sorcery, person, or whatever. Let me just say this. That's probably why this country will meet its demise. That's why you probably will never catch the real killers. What you are going to get right now is somebody they need to put up. Well, it's election year. They got to get somebody on trial, whether he's guilty or innocent. But the more this keeps happening, I think the more they're going to keep attacking Americans. The more they're going to keep killing people. That's my opinion. That's just my theory. The proof is in the pudding. It's pretty much. That's the thing. I don't know. Hello, Miss Mary Beth. We are talking about Delphi, the players in Delphi, the beginning of the case, the middle of the case. We're talking about everything on here. You know, some of these YouTubers are professional hackers. And if they are police, then they can get into your computer. And they can say they're the police. They're working for the police. Right? They're really not, but they know somebody, their brother or something, or family member is a cop. Oh man, I'm hacking this guy trying to set him up for a murder and shit because I don't want to go to jail for it. We're so hip to these stupid idiots in this country. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So here's the thing. If the defense is opening up saying that the voices on the recording are girls, you got a big problem. Somebody really put a dupe down on everybody. Manipulated the tape before they even put it out. Before the police even put it out, they edited it up. It didn't say girls, it said guys. That's not what they're reporting. That's not what Marv, whatever her name is, Mav or some beyond the evidence is saying. Defense opened it up as that was a bunch of crap that you people were fed. If he mentioned guys in that video, then he was talking to other people, other men. And we got it right in the beginning of the case that there was other people there. And I do believe the police confirmed that when they said that there was multiple voices on the recording other than Abby and Libby's. And then we had reports in the beginning of this case within 2 or 3 years that there was a woman's voice on the recording. Somebody put out a video that said they got their hands on the recording and there was a woman's voice on the recording saying, "You better let me go," that was not Abby or Libby's. Find that. Where'd that come from? In order for you to solve Delphi, you got to know the group of crew that was down there operating at that time. Delphi Bridge was known for the crew to hang out there and cook meth and party and rape and pillage and do whatever they wanted. That whole area, Lafayette and Delphi. You had any kind of sense, you would have listened to all these guys talk about this area. The Kurtz, he was interviewed. He talked about Delphi. He said he knew Delphi pretty good. The bridge, he could run across it within 3 minutes. It was a known place for everyone to go and hang out and do whatever, sleep with women, party and meth and all that. And dispose of bodies, maybe. Who knows? I would be digging up that whole area. I would be looking for more bodies. That might have been their honey hole. That's where all the action went down, all the meth and all the crap, right? Now, you do have to remember, at that time, there was no paved, real nice roads. It was just a dirt trail. There was no cameras. At the time of the murders, all this stuff you folks are seeing now today in Delphi on the trails is all brand new. It wasn't there the way it happened when the murders occurred. It was very dark there, very ugly, very, very sinister. At night, especially, from what they say. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't live in Delphi. I have no idea. Let me get back to my chat. Excuse me. Hello, Miss Mary Beth. Hello, Miss Cyber Warrior. I can tell you this much. I'm dumb. But the math ain't adding up in this case. I think we had too many people in social media that wanted to be top dog. And they actually led people away. Some of these YouTubers had the information stolen, evidence, and they used it to direct the case. And that, my friends, is corruption. That is obstruction of justice. That's what that is. That's what it is. And you wanna beat foot around it and say that's not okay. We had to leak the photo. You corrupted the case. You profited from the money, from the evidence, the photos, the crime scene. You knew it. You were on film telling your viewers that's not what happened. They got it all wrong. Don't watch them. Don't pay any attention to them people. This is what happened. How did you know what happened? Unless you were either there, the police said that. Only the killer or killers would have known exactly what happened there. How did you guys know that? Now you're saying you had the evidence. Well, we had leaked photos. There you go. Lock them up. If you don't lock them up, they're going to be hit on the streets. That's the bottom line. These people corrupted the case and they hid behind their badges or family members or judges that they knew. Now, I can only give you my opinion, my theories. But I can tell you this much, folks. We've had a problem in Indiana way before Delphi, and people just can't figure it out. It was all over the news here. They busted a crew out here, a biker crew, 50 pounds of meth, hundreds of guns, and they were running also a prostitution ring. And that was right in this little small town. Actually, it was the next town over, even smaller than the town I live in. That branched out. They said it was some MC club or something. I don't know. It was in the paper. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is horrible. It's just horrible. And my heart goes out to the family and the mothers of the two girls. But from word go, even the police were investigating the family. I remember watching Toby, the sheriff, being interviewed. And the lady's saying, how come you didn't do this? How come you didn't do that? And they say, do you, and the sheriff told the reporter, do you know Derek or Eric or whatever his name is? Do you know what he's been charged with and what they were into, the family was into before Delphi happened? And the interviewer was like, yeah, we kind of found out and everything. And the sheriff said, I rest my case. I don't need to say no more. From the word go, it was crazy in the Delphi case. They were from day one they were talking, well, the family was mixed up with meth in some club or something like that, or they turned state's evidence against a meth dealer, or he was a meth dealer, the father was of the girls, and then he turned state's evidence against everyone else and the whole family, and they all were in a biker club or whatever. That was from day one they were going with that. When they started investigating, that's what took so long, because they had to start with the family first. Why? Because the family had a history. The family had a bad history, so they probably started with the family. Do I blame them? No. They're doing their jobs. That's how normal investigations start. You start with family and friends and your surroundings, right? The activities that are happening within that family, if there's any commotion, or in that neighborhood, if there's any commotion. I mean, I don't. Does that make sense to anybody? Now, I can say this much. Is it possible one person did all this? Yes. It is possible one person did all this. He had enough time. It is possible for one person to do this if the girls were scared enough and he had control to get them to where at least he knew he was going to off them, and he would be able to leave them there and possibly come back. I don't think he knew people were looking for him that fast. I don't know. That's just one of my theories. That's just one of my theories. So it'll be interesting to see. Then you got messages between one of the brothers or whoever it is, uncles or whatever, Cody, to one of his friends talking about one of the girls sexually. And then one of his buddies said, what, are you crazy? They're they're kids. They're only teens. And supposedly Cody said he's going to hit one of them, meaning have sex with one of them. Were one of the girls sexually active? I don't know. Were they being essayed? I don't know. Nobody knows. We don't even know if they did any tests for it. Why? Well, because they fired the FBI, which I imagine the FBI probably would have brought in a forensic guy, an autopsy dude, to do the autopsy, to check, to make sure they weren't sexually active, to make sure they weren't SA'd. Now, like I said, I know all these YouTubers are buddies. These are all big baller shot callers. They got thousands and thousands of subs and viewers. I know for some reason these people believe these people for some reason. When we have caught these people in hundreds of lies, their viewers and these other YouTubers still stand by them and still believe the malarkey that they put out. We can't figure it out. We're like, I mean, we think we figured it out, but I can't figure it out. How does it go from these YouTubers were stalking women? They were stalking men that were investigating the case on YouTube or talking about it. They were trying to get photos. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And they were caught. And their fans still worship them like they're a god. It's like a Manson family. I mean, I don't know what to say. Does anyone got anything to say other than trying to convince people that I'm wrong? You had these YouTubers, you had Greeno and numerous YouTubers on YouTube telling you folks not to watch people's channels because they were crazy. And they had no idea what they were talking about when it came to Delphi. And believe it or not, Anthony Greeno wasn't the only one. No, well, what do I think we're dealing with? We are dealing with a bunch of psychopaths. There's only one way to deal with civilians like this or people like this. It's horrible what's happening in our country, and it ain't gonna end anytime soon. There's been more murders in Indiana and everywhere in America. The world goes on. The grinding machine keeps grinding, right? I think we linked a bunch of people down in Delphi and Lafayette, to a bunch of bad stuff that's been going on. There's been little kids coming up in suitcases down there, down south in Delphi and Indiana. Children just left in the woods on the side of the road down there. We got a problem. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to help the best I can. But they're not getting the big picture. I'm trying to convince Jesus not to wipe this earth clean again. It is corrupt. I believe everything Jesus is saying to the hilt. It's corrupt and evil again. And I'm begging them, please don't do it yet, because I think we'll let us humans deal with it. We'll be sending you some of these people. You could judge them after we're done with them, by God Almighty. But I think America has spoken. I think Jesus has spoken. We're fed up with this madness. These people, like I said, I could have forgave them if they had one offense. They made a mistake. They were in their 30s or whatever and ended up sleeping with a hot 18-year-old or whatever that looked like she was 30. I can forgive that. I've had to do it throughout history because these women get fake IDs, and the next thing you know, you got a whole locker room full of women at a concert that are underage. I can deal with one, maybe twice with this stuff, but I can't deal with these guys. I can't have it. Not with kids. Not once, not twice, not three, 30,000 times. I can't work with these people. I can only forgive so much. Once, twice, three times, maybe. But when these people are committing the same SAs over and over again, or pedo stuff with these kids and photos and all that, 30,000 times, I can't, when does it end? How can you rehabilitate someone like that? You can't. And then they turn around and say, then they turn around and say they're investigating stuff. 30,000 naked photos of young kids doing sexual acts, and what police department do you belong to? Well, I don't work for the police or anybody. Oh, okay, all right. What is wrong with this country? My apologies, ladies, gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I've been putting up with this crap for 7 years from these trolls attacking me. These people coming into my chat, delphiers, fans of the Greeno lovers, fans of all the rest of these hot YouTubers that got all the women and everything. Give it a break, ladies. Give it a break. You're sleeping with the devil. Today it was some 13-year-old girl. Tomorrow it'll be you dead. It's just a matter of time. They're all sickos. I hate to tell you, your hot boys, your bad boys are crazy. It's just a matter of time before they kill you, after they got nothing left to kill. It's just a matter of time. Don't worry, these guys will use you until you find out the real men. And then you bet your ass they will turn on you. And you will, well, just ask Wade Wilson. You'll be the next victim in a ditch somewhere in the woods. They want bad boys that take control. That's what I'm hearing from these women. They take control. Oh, he did take control. He murdered 2 young girls. And you're next. You can have that, dude. Go ahead. Well, at least he took control. Oh, he took control of it. You women love men that are forceful and take control. He took control, okay. She's dead. He killed her. Ah, the devil. Mysterious how he works. Mysterious. He's going to kill you. Not today, not tomorrow, but we know for a fact it's in their heads. It's just a matter of when, time, place. And they'll end up killing these girls. And then we'll be right back where we are today here with their parents and everybody going, how could this have happened? You had to have your bad boy. Your man that took charge, and you can't even tell if he's white, black, yellow, whatever, because he's covered in tattoos and got piercings all over his body. You had to have the bad boy. There you go. Where's your bad boys? So there you go, folks. My opinion on Delphi. I can tell you right now, screw Delphi. Screw any horse they come riding in. Send them backpacking. Screw any authority. Screw all you. You wrecked my country. You wrecked my channel. You wrecked my life. Screw you all. If you want to blackmail me, I'm going to tell you like Elon told you all, F you. Bring it on. I don't give a crap, you piece of crap. So all you know is voodoo and the devil and power and numbers. That's all you folks know, and that's okay. Stick to your numbers. It'll be easier for God to wipe you all out, get you all in one spot. But that's beside the point. That's a whole nother movie for another day. And boy, what a movie it's going to make. So there you guys go. Does anyone got anything to say? Screw it. Let's get high. That's what Kel said, Mr. Kel. Let the missionary begin. What the? Oh my God, I don't know. No, I don't know. But I could pretty much tell you guys. Let me see what else Kel's saying. Hell yeah, I got Johnny's back. What's up, my dude? What can I do for you? Nah, nothing. Just a bunch of magic these people are doing or something, witchery or something down there in Delphi or in who knows what these people. A bunch of people in the dark rooms, candles, all kinds of guys doing all kinds of crazy crap and everything. And then they come to me, the president calls me. Why is my country being this? Well, I don't know. It's freedom to worship evil. What do you mean? What's wrong with your country? What are you talking about? They have the right to massacre everybody. That's their freedoms to believe in this religion where they sacrifice young girls and rape your children and women and teens. What do you mean? What's wrong with your country? I don't know what to tell you, Congress, Senate. Quit calling me. Quit calling me. What's going? Why is this? Well, I don't know. Let's see. You got 50, 60, 100 religions. Everybody from a different country wants to practice what they practice in their country. Oh, did I tell you? That country practices cannibalism. Well, they eat their own kind, but they're over here now in the United States. And boy, what a great day, ain't it? What do you mean? What's wrong with our country? What? Are you kidding me? I gotta get some more tea. I gotta get some more tea. Hold on a minute. I can't no more with it. Can you folks tell me what's wrong with my country? Can you explain to me what is wrong with my country? I don't know. We got people in their country that yesterday they were on the streets killing your children. Tomorrow they'll be rap stars or country rap stars or kingpins or cartel. What do you mean? What's wrong with my country? Can you folks tell me? Can any of you out there in the YouTube world tell me what's wrong with my country? obvious. Because I can't do this anymore. I have a disability. I have mental problems myself, and I cannot deal with these people. I have PSDT or whatever it is. I am a child of a military family, not one, not two, not three, not four, many military families. People in my family, cousins, uncles, grandparents that were military men. I've seen things you people would vomit right where you stand. And that's no joke. And when you come to me and you ask me what's my problem, I'm going to tell you the truth. I have mental problems brought on by my surroundings and the country I live in and the food I eat. My tea is done. I'll be right back. Now, I also have to revert back to the good book, the Bible. And what did the Bible teach me? Forgiveness. Even though these people are sick and disgusting people, very bad, we must forgive them. All of them. We cannot judge them or hold a grudge against them. We must forgive them. I know it's hard. I've had family members lost, not by their own hands, and we've had to forgive people. The main thing is forgiveness. Even though they're wrong, even though they're bad people, we must forgive them and go on. And it's easy to do, to forgive, because we can forgive and walk away. We don't have to live with these people. We choose, hey, brother, I know you stabbed me. Or, hey, my friend, I know you beat me in the head with a baseball bat or whatever. Or I know you drove my car into a crowd of people or whatever. Right? But I forgive you. But I choose not to have you in my life. But you are forgiven. There will be no retaliation. There will be no curses, no nothing. Well, I forgive you. And I've done that so many times in my life and walked away. And that's what we got to do, because the big thing, I think, here is forgiveness. Because if you don't forgive, it'll eat at you. It'll eat at you. No, Johnny was never in the military. He was raised in a military family. Never in the military. And even if I was in the military, I wouldn't be able to disclose what I did because then I would have to kill every single one of you. And I kind of like some of you, so I really don't want to do that. So I was never in the military. I never belonged to nobody. You can't prove nothing. You never will be able to prove nothing because there is nothing on me. Debbie said he got hurt real bad. He hurt his winky. Nah, she's a card, ain't she? I'm having my hot tea. Oh, what a night. Folks, I'm sorry, but I had to let that out. I had to get all this off my chest. I'm really tired of this madness. I'm seeing a lot of women wreck themselves, wreck their whole world because they're so wrapped up into this man. I'm seeing a lot of women that are they're caught in relationships with who they thought were strong men and took charge of, but then themselves now are being abused. And now they're going, I can't, I married a monster. Yeah. Yeah, it's all fun, right? The whole bad boy, the whole going out causing fights and doing crazy stuff and drinking till you vomit and throw all up over yourselves and beating people's brains. It's all fun until it happens to you. Then all you ladies change your mind. Oh my God, he's a monster. Why didn't I know it? Why didn't I? Because you loved that bad boy world. And most of these women don't realize it until it's too late. Until they get beat half to death or they end up dead. I don't know. It's just me, in my opinion. Can I call a rant, son? What do you want to rant about, Kel? What do you need? You want me to rant for you? Maybe I should start charging people $5 and I will rant for them. Tell me what it is and I'll get into it. Sir Kelp, tell me what it is. I'll rant for you. For those that don't have a voice, and do I personally have anything against the Rick Snays, the Anthony Greenos, there's so many other YouTubers out there that were at one time suspects or anything. No, I don't know them personally. And I didn't create their madness they live in. They created their own. Why do we get blamed for when these people go crazy? And all we do is repeat what they say. They turn around and try and blame us for it. I'm like, what? You said it, not us. I am actually doing okay. I wanted to find you two the other night and tell you to look up the moon. I think yesterday was a crazy moon or whatever they call it, full moon. It's been so light outside. 2 a.m. your time. It wasn't till 2 a.m. your time that I realized it was almost daylight out. Ah, thank you, Kel. But Kel said he was looking for us too. Me and Debbie. Like Debbie lives here with me. I was looking for you two to get, like we're together, like sewn together like Bobsy twins. Nah, Hunter's Moon, that's what it was. Debbie, we are Bopsy twin, or what are they? Condensual twins sewn together. Oh, I, Hunter Moon, I love it. Oh, Hunter Moon, I love. Oh, okay. Hunter's Moon. I think it was like orange out here a little bit. A little bit orangey. Boy, I'm telling you, I wonder if there's any connection between the Summer Wells case and the Delphi case. Can anybody hear me out there? You heard me right. I know what you're going to say. What? Does anyone know if there's any connection between the Summer Wells case and the Delphi case and the Evansdale case and a couple more cases? Folks, if I told you that some of these people, some of these churches might be sacrificing children like they did in the olden days to please their gods or whatever they worship, and some of these churches are actually just fronts for sacrificial stuff. It's just mad. It's just mad. Now you got the Vatican that's saying that most of these churches in America ain't real churches. They were never given the okay by the Vatican to be churches. It explains why this is happening. Yeah, Debbie, it's like they forgot about summer and it turned into something totally different. Celt, I didn't want to think that way. Johnny tells me that, and I get mad. I would believe you. Celt says I would believe you. People don't read this sick crap out there that have been researched and proven true. Yeah. Yeah, and what's sad about it is listening to some of these professionals say or even listening to Don Wells say that that's the way they do stuff on the mountain. You got bills to pay no matter what you do. You got to pay them bills no matter what. What is crazy is we've proven corruption. We've proven corruption within the force, within the labs, within everything. If we really think about it, we would have to go through everything all over again and retest everything. I mean, if they had people in the labs that were reading tests wrong, they might not even have known how to read a test. And they were reading the test wrong. You got a lot of people that Might have been sick, but we're told there was nothing wrong with him. It's in your head. Here, take these pills. I mean, this is madness. And you know what? I'm going to give up on it. I'm going to give up on it because it is a rabbit hole. And it will suck you in like a black hole. And these things are probably real. And we have a lot of questions. We want to know what kind of contacts Richard Allen had within CVS. Meaning, did they put him in different areas when they needed a manager or a technician at another store? Did they pay for him to go to another store and work out there for however long, months or whatever, couple weeks, whatever? Did he have access to any drugs? I mean, there's a lot of questions we want to ask about certain things. And I'm not saying Richard Allen is the killer. I'm not sold 100%. Not 100%. They do have evidence. They do have a bullet from his weapon. You got to explain that. Could you explain it? If you're a good defense lawyer, you'd be able to. It's very well possible he was the fall guy, set up, all planned, possibly. There's certain things we have questions on. Was there anything of the girls found at Richard Allen's? If Richard Allen had something of the girls at his house, he's got to explain that. Defense would have to explain that. Defense would have to explain that, how he came into possession of these things at his house. Defense would have to explain how the bullet ended up there. Could it be done? Could they explain it away? Sure. If somebody was out to get Richard Allen, yeah. For all we know, somebody could have snuck in his house, grabbed a round. Just to plant there. We don't know. And what makes me get furious is these people saying it's impossible. Oh, you're a conspiracy therapist. You're a conspiracy therapist. Right? When these people, if I open up the books and show these people conspiracies that were proven, that these people planned, that these people put in place, conspiracies are as real as the Bible. Why? Because the Bible, even thy Jesus, was a conspiracy to take him out. So I don't know how these people can say, "Oh, here we go. There's conspiracy there." That it's all the conspiracies are not real. Then what do you call the assassinations? What do you call when someone plans to kidnap somebody or sell them or whatever? It's a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy. They want you to think that conspiracies ain't real so they can do more of them. There has been professional people that I hate to say, that were military men, Navy SEALs, that went into businesses and took businesses over and created a conspiracy. And they took over the company. Conspiracies are real. The day you stop thinking that conspiracies are not real, you're in a world of crap. Because now every little thing they do to you, you push it off as it's just normal. It's just part of life. And it ain't. Do I think Delphi's a conspiracy? I do. Turned into one. I think it was turned into a conspiracy, a zoo, directly to throw people off of what really was going on. Well, I can only say this: all glory goes to God. If it was not for God, I probably wouldn't be here. All glory goes to God. I'm glad my family is alive. All glory goes to God that I'm still alive because I've been threatened, abused, messed with, you name it. We all have. You got to keep going on. And I think I'm going to end this. What time is it? 12:30. I don't know, Debbie. How you feeling tonight? You guys want to do another video? End this one, and we'll maybe do a fire video with some chimes and fire or something. My voice is kind of all messed up or whatever. I don't know. I don't feel myself. I'm telling you. There's times when I feel like I'm right on, and I feel myself. But then I feel like I let people know I'm feeling good, and Satan comes along and takes it. Right? I think so, or somebody's monkeying with it. Debbie, what do you think? Another video here shortly, or no? Or maybe just chill tonight. You know, everybody was up late last night. Debbie was up late last night. I was up late. Johnny, will you play guitar and we can relax? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to promise anything. Excuse me. I had tacos tonight. Refried beans, cheese on it, hot sauce, meat. Little gassy. Is somebody using witchery, sorcery in my little town? I don't know if we find you. I hope not. Rumor has it that the court in town is thinking about dusting off the guillotine that we got in the basement of the courthouse. When they said that to me, I was like, oh, now you're talking my kind of language. Dust that sucker off and put it out in front of the courthouse in town here. It's a little town, little courthouse. Old fashioned brick, 2-3 story. I don't know, got the big giant clock tower on it and everything. Right? They were like, Johnny, guess what? I'm like, what's going on, guys? They're like, we got the old guillotine downstairs. We're thinking about dusting off from the olden days. 1805. I'm like, oh God. Put it out there in the courtyard. Let these people see. You mess with the families around here of us. It's the guillotine. Right? They were joking when they love to tease me. They're like, we're thinking about bringing the guillotine back. We got it in the basement of the courthouse. And then they never do. It's But I seen it. It's one of them guillotines that'll do hands and heads. Yeah. Because back in the olden days, the laws were you know they would only take your hands. They wouldn't behead you fully for certain crimes. I am getting attacked, so we will be attacking these people down south in real life. You're using your magic. We the government, we the people are telling you people down in Delphi and you YouTubers, we are going to use real ammo. I don't know how to use magic or witchery or any of this trespass and stuff. I only know how to seek and destroy. And we got you on laser down there down south, so we really don't give a crap. You're going to see just a little green strobe light come out the sky. We won't have to, there won't even be no smoke. We're going to zap them with our zapper, mind altering ray gun. No, they won't remember nothing in the morning. But we are getting attacked by this demonic thing. I don't know if it lives here in this apartment complex in this neighborhood or just in Indiana generally. I'm trying to make a movie here. Can you folks leave me alone? You can't attack people for what they think or say. You can't do it. It's against the law. I don't know who you people are or why you're attacking people with demonic demons or some kind of magic. And we have plenty of witnesses of other YouTubers going into coughing spells and can't breathe. And even coming out and telling these people to stop attacking us that way. They just, I don't know what it is. I'm going to end this video. I will be back shortly, maybe. Debbie, did you say yeah, do a video tonight, or are you tired? I mean, I know you're tired. I know you're tired. I don't know, Johnny. I might play guitar if I come back. I don't know, what time is it? 12:30. Maybe in 15 minutes I'll come back. I don't know. I'll have to talk it over with my associates. Yes, it's Friday. No, it's Friday. She's going to use that. It's Friday for me. You're not going to control me, little lady. Right? You're going to control me like the rest of these women control these YouTubers. Not me. I'm standing my ground. What time you want to go live, Debbie? All right, I'll be back maybe later. I don't know, maybe a half hour, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. I'll talk it over with my people. I want to thank everyone for stopping in. Kelt, Miss Debbie, ATS News, all the other people. I do want to give a shout out to Miss Cold Truth. Her father had a heart attack and she's got to take care of him. And we hope he's okay. We are still looking for one of our mods that is missing, Miss Bella Blaney, who lived in the hurricane path. We hope she's okay. And so many other people we're praying for. God bless. I'll be back. And maybe a half hour or so or something. Maybe 15 minutes, half hour.